Hello, everyone, and a huge welcome back to the English Cast. I am your host, Ryan, and I am sitting here with Emma.
Hi, Ryan. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the English Cast. I am Emma, and we are so incredibly happy to be here with you today.
And before we dive into our topic, if you enjoy our lessons and want to support us, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more English learners around the world.
That's right, Ryan. And I have to say, you look like you're in such a fantastic mood today. Seriously, what's the secret behind all that extra energy this morning?
You know, Emma, I was just looking out the window before we started, and the weather is so incredible today. It's one of those days where you just feel like everything is going to go right. Do you feel that energy too?
Absolutely. I actually walked to the studio today instead of driving, just to soak up some of that sunshine. It makes such a difference in your mood, doesn't it? I feel like I've had 3 cups of coffee already, even though I've only had one.
I can see that. Your energy is contagious. It's funny how a little bit of good weather and a good weekend can completely reset your brain. Did you do anything exciting or just enjoy the vibe?
It was actually a great weekend. I met up with some old friends I hadn't seen in ages. We just spent the afternoon talking and laughing. It reminded me how much I love just connecting with people. No phones, no work, just real talk. What about you?
That sounds perfect. I had a pretty active one too. I went for a long run and then spent some time working on a few personal projects. I find that when I'm active, I actually have more ideas for work on Monday. It's like my brain gets a reboot.
I love that term, a reboot. It's so true. When we feel good and our energy is high, even the most difficult tasks at the office seem easier to handle.
Exactly. And that's actually what I wanted to chat about today. Since we're both feeling so positive and recharged, I thought it would be the perfect time to talk about how to carry that same clear, positive energy into our professional lives.
That is such a great topic, Ryan, because let's be honest, we spend so much of our time at work. And if we can't communicate well, all that good weekend energy just disappears the moment we walk through the office door.
It really does. It's like we become different people as soon as we put on our work clothes. I personally find it much easier to be myself when I'm just hanging out.
I totally agree. Actually, when I was meeting my friends this weekend, I realized how effortless it is to just talk and share news. I wish we could bring that same easy feeling to the office.
Well, since you mentioned meeting your friends this weekend, let's start with a phrase that works both in social and professional life: catching up. To catch up means to talk to someone you haven't spoken to in a while to find out what has been happening.
I love this one because it's so versatile. In the office, I might say to a colleague, "Hey, I know you've been busy with the launch, but can we catch up for 10 minutes this afternoon?" It's a very friendly way to ask for an update.
Exactly. It doesn't sound like a demand. It sounds like you care about what they've been doing. I use it a lot with my manager, too. I'd love to catch up on the project details when you have a moment.
Notice how Ryan used the preposition on. You catch up with a person, and you catch up on a topic or some work. It's a small detail, but it makes you sound very professional.
I think we all have that catching up feeling on Monday mornings. But when the energy is high, catching up feels like a great way to start the week. Now, once we've caught up, we usually need to get into the actual work.
Get into is perfect for this. It means to start doing something seriously or to become involved in a task. I really need to get into these reports before the meeting starts.
I find that I have to get into a specific mindset before I can tackle a big project. I clear my desk, put on some music, and then I just get into it. It's about focus.
I agree. Sometimes it's hard to get into work if there are too many distractions, but once you do, you become much more efficient. Ryan, what's the first thing you get into on a Monday morning?
I usually get into my emails first, just to make sure there are no emergencies. Then, I like to touch base with my lead designer. Have you heard people using touch base in your office, Emma?
All the time. To touch base is such a classic office phrase. It means to make brief contact with someone just to check in or give a quick update. It's much shorter than a formal meeting.
Precisely. It's a very 30-year-old manager thing to say, I suppose. Hi, Sarah. Can we touch base for 5 minutes regarding the client feedback? It sounds polite and collaborative.
I think it's a very helpful phrase for 25-year-olds like me, too. It shows we're proactive. If I touch base with my boss early in the day, I know I'm on the right track and I don't waste time.
That's a great strategy. Communication is all about saving time and avoiding confusion. But, Emma, what happens when you're in that conversation and you realize the other person isn't understanding your idea?
Oh, that's the struggle of getting your point across. To get your point across means to successfully make someone understand exactly what you are trying to say. It's all about clarity.
I remember a meeting last year where I had a very complex strategy for our budget. I was talking for ages, but I wasn't getting my point across. Everyone looked confused.
So, how did you handle that? Did you just keep talking?
No, I realized I had to change my approach. I stopped and said, let me try to get this across with a simple example. Once I simplified the language, everyone understood immediately.
That's a great tip for our listeners. If you feel like you aren't getting your point across, don't just repeat yourself louder. Try to use simpler words or a different story to make it clear.
Absolutely. And when everyone finally understands, you might realize that someone was missing from the meeting. In that case, you have to fill them in.
I love this verb because it's so supportive. To fill someone in means to give them the information or details they missed because they weren't present. You are filling the gap in their knowledge.
Exactly. Don't worry about missing the briefing, Emma. I'll fill you in on all the decisions we made later. It makes the person feel included and part of the team.
It really does. I had to fill in a colleague this morning because his train was delayed. It only took 5 minutes, but it meant he could start his work without feeling lost.
That's professional communication at its best. Sharing information so the whole team succeeds. Now, Emma, after we've filled everyone in, we usually have to go over the final details of the plan.
To go over something. This is so important for accuracy. It means to examine or review something very carefully to make sure everything is correct.
I always go over my presentations at least twice before I show them to a client. I check the numbers, the spelling, and the tone. Let's go over the contract one more time, is a phrase I say constantly.
I'm the same. I go over my social media posts before they go live. It prevents so many small mistakes that could look unprofessional. Ryan, do you prefer going over things alone or with a partner?
I think going over a document with a partner is always better. Two sets of eyes are better than one. It helps you catch the things you might have missed.
I agree. Collaboration is key. But sometimes, even when you go over things, a project can feel too big and overwhelming. That's when you need to break it down.
This is a vital skill for anyone in a leadership role. To break something down means to divide a complex task into smaller, simpler parts that are easier to manage.
It's like turning a mountain into a series of small steps. If I have a massive project, I break it down into daily goals. It makes the work feel much less intimidating.
Precisely. I often say to my team, don't look at the final deadline. Let's break down what we need to do this week. Once you break it down, the stress levels in the office go down too.
It's so true. It gives everyone a clear path forward. But even with a good plan, sometimes a colleague needs a bit of extra support in a meeting. They might need you to back them up.
Backing someone up is about loyalty and teamwork. It means to support someone's idea or to provide evidence that proves they are right. It builds a huge amount of trust.
I remember a meeting where I suggested a new way to handle our customer service. I was a bit nervous, but Ryan, you backed me up by saying you'd seen similar success in other companies. It gave me so much confidence.
I remember that. I backed you up because your idea was solid. When we back each other up, the whole team becomes stronger and more confident in front of clients.
It's a great feeling, and it leads to a much more positive workplace culture. However, even in a positive culture, we still have to deal with difficult situations from time to time.
To deal with something. This is perhaps the most common verb in an office. It means to take action to solve a problem or handle a situation. We deal with difficult clients, technical bugs, or tight deadlines.
I have to deal with these complaints before I can leave today. It sounds very professional and proactive. You aren't just having a problem, you are actively dealing with it.
Exactly. A professional is someone who can deal with pressure and still produce great work. Emma, how do you deal with a situation where you have too many tasks at once?
I break them down, like we talked about, and I touch base with my manager to see which ones are the priority. Dealing with stress is all about communication.
That's a perfect answer. And part of dealing with problems is knowing when to bring them up in a meeting. To bring something up means to start talking about a subject or a concern.
This can be scary, especially for younger professionals, but if you see a mistake, you have to bring it up. I'd like to bring up the issue with the new software, is a very brave and necessary sentence.
I always encourage my team to bring up their ideas or their worries early. If you bring it up on Monday, we can fix it by Tuesday. If you wait until Friday, it becomes a much bigger problem to deal with.
I've learned that the hard way. Now I always try to bring up any potential risks at the start of a project. It makes me feel more responsible and professional.
It definitely does. Now, Emma, sometimes we're in a hurry and we don't have time for a long discussion. We just need to run through the main point.
To run through something. This means to read or explain something very quickly to give a general idea. It's perfect when you only have a few minutes.
Can we just run through the agenda for tomorrow's meeting? It's a fast review. It's not as detailed as going over something, but it's great for a quick mental check.
I use this right before I enter a meeting. I run through my main talking points in my head so I don't forget anything. It keeps me focused.
It's a great habit, and it helps you keep up with the fast pace of a modern office. To keep up with something means to stay at the same level as a situation that is changing very quickly.
This is a big one for me. I have to keep up with social media trends and new marketing tools every day. If I don't, my work becomes outdated very fast.
We all have to keep up with our industry. Whether it's learning new software or staying informed about global news, keeping up is part of the job. It's hard to keep up with all these emails, but I'm doing my best.
I think we can all relate to that. But as long as we stay positive and keep communicating, we can keep up with almost anything. Ryan, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We certainly have. We've talked about everything from catching up and getting into work to dealing with problems and bringing up new ideas. It's been a very productive session.
It really has. I feel even more energized now than when we started. I hope everyone watching on YouTube feels the same way. If you've learned something new today, let us know in the comments.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these phrasal verbs are you going to use in your office tomorrow? Maybe you need to touch base with a colleague or go over a new report.
Whatever it is, just remember to keep that positive energy and stay clear in your communication. It makes all the difference.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up for today. To wrap up means to finish or conclude something. Let's wrap up this episode so you can go and practice what you've learned.
Before we wrap up, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for spending your time with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really means a lot to us.
Thank you, everyone. Stay positive, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode of the English Cast.
Have a wonderful and productive week, everyone. Goodbye.